There is a silence in California's Santa Clara Valley, and it feels wrong. Not empty, but waiting. If you listen closely on South Winchester Boulevard, you might catch it, the faint, phantom echo of a hammer striking wood steady, relentless, like a heartbeat that never truly stopped. Before we go deeper, subscribe and turn on the notification bell to join the archive. Because some records aren't meant to be forgotten. This isn't fiction. This is a documented account tied to property records, census logs, and one woman's terrifying obsession. Her name was Sarah Winchester. To understand the house, you have to understand the blood behind it. The year is 1862. The Civil War tears through America, and in New Haven, Connecticut, the Winchester Repeating Arms Company manufactures a weapon that changes everything. The rifle that could fire again and again without pause. It built a fortune, but every dollar came at a cost, measured in lives. Sarah Lockwood Pardee married into that fortune. She had everything: wealth, status, love. Until 1866, when her infant daughter died in her arms. Years later, her husband followed, and just like that, she was alone. $20 million pouring in daily, enough to live like royalty. But instead, she lived in fear. Desperate, she turned to a spiritualist in Boston. During a trance, the message came through, cold and direct. The Winchester family was cursed. Every life taken by their rifles, every soul lost, was coming back. They had already claimed her husband, her child, and now they were coming for her. There was only one way to survive: move west, build a house, keep building forever. If the construction stopped, she would die. In 1884, Sarah arrived in California. She bought a simple farmhouse and began something the world had never seen. There were no blueprints, no master plan. Every night, she claimed the spirits gave her instructions. Every morning, workers followed them, and they never stopped. Day and night for 38 years, the sound of construction filled the valley. But the house wasn't meant for the living. It was a trap. Sarah believed spirits could only move in straight lines. So she built chaos. Staircases that climbed into ceilings, doors that opened into nothing, hallways that twisted and shrank, rooms inside other rooms. Imagine walking through a house where nothing makes sense, where every turn feels wrong, where you're never sure what's behind you. That was the point. There were 40 staircases. One zigzagged upward, 44 steps, yet barely rose 9 feet. Each step was only inches high, forcing anyone or anything to move slowly. She was buying time. The number 13 appeared everywhere. Windows, walls, lights, even drain holes. A pattern repeated like a ritual. Inside, Sarah lived like a ghost herself. A small woman, about 4'10", always dressed in dark Victorian mourning clothes, black veil covering her face, moving silently through the halls. She never slept in the same room twice, because if something found her, she wouldn't be there. At the center of it all was the Blue Room. Every night at midnight, a bell rang. Staff said it was a call summoning spirits. At 2 in the morning, another bell dismissing them. Inside, Sarah sat alone, writing, listening, building. But what was she really hearing? In 1906, the earth answered. The San Francisco earthquake struck. The house twisted, collapsed, trapping Sarah inside. When she was freed, she believed it was a warning. She had grown too proud. So she sealed parts of the house forever and built inward, deeper, darker. Even the workers felt it. They reported footsteps behind them, cold air brushing past, doors moving on their own. Long after Sarah's death, the activity didn't stop. Visitors reported whispers, "Help me, Sarah," captured on recordings. Figures seen in hallways. A shadow pushing a wheelbarrow through the basement. Even skeptics left uneasy. One room, the witch's cap, echoes sound in unnatural ways. Stand still long enough, and it feels like the house is listening back. And then, September 5th, 1922, Sarah Winchester died in her sleep. And just like that, the construction stopped. Tools dropped mid-task. Nails left half-driven into wood. Workers walked away, leaving the house frozen in time. But the silence that followed wasn't peace. It was something else. Today, the house still stands. Tourists walk through its twisting halls, but many leave shaken, disoriented, watched. Because this place doesn't just confuse you, it studies you. Some believe Sarah was just eccentric, a grieving woman with too much money. But that explanation doesn't account for everything. Not the precision, not the fear, not the experiences that continue a century later. This wasn't just a house. It was a defense system or a prison, maybe both. So tonight, when your house creaks, when the floor shifts beneath you, just remember at least your doors lead somewhere. Because in San Jose, there's a house that still waits, still watches, still listens. And somewhere inside it, a staircase leads to nowhere, and something is still climbing. If you've made it this far, like the video, subscribe, and share your own documented encounters in the comments. The archive is always open, and some stories are still being written. So after getting lost in the absolute madness we just explored, the decades of non-stop construction, the lingering spirits of the fallen, and Sarah Winchester's desperate attempt to outrun death itself, you're probably wondering, what exactly is the vibe at the Winchester Mystery House today? Well, my personal take on this massive labyrinth right now is all about its bizarre, almost surreal contrast. If you visit San Jose, California today, expecting to find a dark, rotting, haunted fortress, you will be completely thrown off. From the outside during the day, this sprawling Queen Anne Victorian actually has a remarkably serene and peaceful aesthetic. With its vibrant paint, beautiful stained glass, and manicured gardens, it feels incredibly cozy. It genuinely looks like a bright, idyllic Thomas Kincaid-style painting brought to life, sitting right in the middle of a modern, bustling city. But honestly, from my perspective, that picture-perfect exterior is just a mask for the pure psychological chaos inside. Today, the estate is a massively popular tourist attraction, but no amount of gift shops or guided tours can fix the deeply unsettling energy of its unique architecture. When you are actually walking through those narrow, winding halls, seeing doors that open to sheer drops and staircases that lead straight into the ceiling, the dread is still very real. It's a beautiful, confusing trap built by a terrified mind. The Winchester House proves that sometimes the most terrifying monsters aren't hiding in the dark. They are built right into the floor plans. Thanks for tuning into Rhyme's journey for this case, and I'll catch you in the next mystery.